Hi, I'm Juliet Terrill. This is the LEH Guitars 5-string 24-fret model. I'm just demoing it a little bit for you today here at NAMM 2025.
Tell us about you.
I play with the band Juliet in the East, formerly of the band The Suffers. I'm based out of Portland, Oregon, along with LEH Guitars as well.
And how long have you been playing for?
I've been playing for about 23 years now.
So that makes you about 24.
Maybe a little higher.
What is to describe the music that you guys play?
My band is actually queer musical storytelling. We do...
you gotta elaborate on that.
So, yeah, our current album is called Action Princess. It is a queer magical girl rock opera.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I do. I sing and play and do all the songwriting as well as lyrical work.
So I'm gonna ask you to sing.
Please. I mean, singing is a little bit iffier without anybody else, but...
Right. So tell us what is the magical aspect of it? You can make something up.
No, you're fine. So the best way I describe it is, if you ever watched Sailor Moon.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so
of
imagine
course.
that Jupiter and Mercury are very much in love and being very useless lesbians about it.
Do you cosplay as Sailor Moon, or?
I do have a costume. I actually play the villain for my own story.
Okay.
Yeah, so I get to wear this big elaborate hoodie with the hood up and be very mean to my main character.
Because I used to play tons of Anime Expos, so yeah, tons.
Yeah, having Bubby here earlier, I was like, yeah, I know he's super big into anime and everything.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I do, and then, like I said, formerly of The Suffers, which is soul R&B. We called it Gulf Coast Soul.
I can tell. Yeah, you've got it.
Yeah.
When did you start playing? Like, how did you get into the bass? Like, how did that all come about?
So I played viola for about 4 years.
So you're fine. No, I did too.
Oh, yeah. I was, the teacher had decided that because I was left-handed, that I was hopeless and didn't teach me how to read music. So I played for 4 years entirely by ear. And then I got into high school, and the teacher was very polite and said very diplomatically, hey, you suck at viola, but you're tall. Why don't you play bass instead?
Oh, okay.
So I picked it up, and that was it. It's been
literally
a long time.
Picked it up.
Exactly.
Right? No one else could.
Yeah. It was like everyone else in my class was 5'5" and below, so...
Right.
The advantages of being the 6-foot-tall lady, I guess.
Yeah. So, how do you guys, how do you approach writing the songs for your band given the theme that you described? From what context are you coming? Tell us the unique aspect of it that makes it different from anything else.
So even before I started playing music, I loved writing. I love stories and everything, right? And like every song is its own little story, especially if you're like me and you can't recognize lyrics very well.
Okay.
And I would listen to something and it was always like, what is this saying? What is this feeling? What is this telling me? And writing a story, it's always the story first, and then the music is like, okay, how do I get these feelings out of the chords, out of these songs that I want to go with this? And if I can't play something without the words, or without anybody being able to understand what I'm saying, and they can't go, that sounds like a cartoon, then I know I didn't do my job right. Because Action Princess is meant to be like a magical girl cartoon. Like I start out shows and I tell people, hey, I need you to put on your 10-year-old at 7:30 in the morning watching Sailor Moon when no one else is up hat.
Right.
You know?
So have you composed any scores for films?
I've done a little bit. Not a whole lot, just one or two little things here and there.
There was you've seen it because David Lynch recently passed, but Angelo Badalamenti was talking about how they came up with the theme for Twin Peaks, which I was a big fan of.
Yeah.
And so he basically described how David Lynch was saying, I see this and I see that, and so he's basically playing that. So it's the same description of what you
Absolutely. Yeah, like very much the similar thing, because like I've never understood, even as a little kid, like I would be listening to a song and someone would play like a secondary dominant.
Yeah.
And I would tell my dad to stop and go, Dad, that chord is wrong.
Okay.
And my dad would look at me and go, the chord can't be wrong, it's their song.
Right.
And I would tell him the picture I was seeing, and he just, now I just know how to use the wrong chords to make the right feeling.
Right.
And just like hearing that about how David Lynch does it, it's like, yeah, it's exactly that feeling. It's exactly that idea of like, paint me a picture with what you're playing.
Right.
So
now you've got me curious, I'm sure everybody else is, how do we find the music? Like, what do we look for? Where do we go? What's your site and stuff like that?
Instagram is the easiest. It's Juliet and the East on Instagram. We're also on Bandcamp, Spotify, all of that other stuff, and we'll be releasing the full album later this year, and we have a live album of the previous story, the Genuine Snake Oil Band.
And so do you guys normally play in Portland, or are you touring? Or?
Right now based in Portland, just sticking around there.
Okay, because I'm going to be going to Portland again. Where would I find you in the upcoming future?
Next show is March 1st is going to be at a place called The Snug. March 8th is going to be at Turn, and then we're going to be having, like I said, some more bigger theater type shows coming up later in the year.
Beautiful. And then can you kind of play us out? I'll try to come up with another beat, but with some of the visual inspiration, like you were just describing, like you don't have to groove or anything, like just do your thing and let's experience what you would normally do now without, maybe we don't even need a beat, just whatever you would like if you want. Or some of your stuff, anything, like the bass sounds great so you don't have to like think about anything or do anything.
I'll play a little chord progression from the first story that we did, the Genuine Snake Oil Band.
Enjoy that.
Yeah,
That was awesome.
One of the chord progressions for.
That's more than a chord progression.
A little bit.
Tell me right now. That's badass. I enjoyed that.
Thank you.
I actually I was imagining being in a bar, but not like drinking, but you know.
It's actually in the context of the story. That's the beginning of a night where the main character drinks herself into alcohol poisoning. It's exactly what it is.
Cheers. I enjoyed that.
Thank you.